my name is Rebecca. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to explain how the energy body functions according to the science of yoga. And I'm going to talk about how your current energy patterns can either help you or hold you back, and what are some yoga practices that you can do to help clear out old patterns and create healthier new ones. According to yoga, our physical body is a manifestation of the energy body. So in a sense, it's the energy first and then the physical comes out of it. And so that is like a big mind shift for a lot of people in Western cultures. Typically, we just focus on the physical body and we think that the physical body creates energy, which it does, but at the same time, we don't really think about how the energy patterns that we have continue in this cycle of creation for the physical body. So basically, think energy first, then matter. So if this concept is really new for you, stay with me because this is kind of a game changer in the way that you perceive yourself. Now, I will never say to ignore the physical body because we have to address the physical body. That's what we have here. This is what we're doing. We're in a physical body experiencing this reality. But what we can do is shift the way we perceive the functioning of the physical body. And when we do this, you'll see that it kind of brings about a whole set of questions in how you relate to yourself. All right, so let me just move on and let me talk very briefly about what the three main concepts of energy are in yoga. Okay, there may be more. I've been studying yoga for about 25 years and I still feel like I'm just touching the tip of the iceberg. I know it's a very deep subject, but in general, today I'm going to briefly explain the three kind of major concepts of yoga, or of energy in yoga. So the first main concept that most people have heard about are energy centers, or we can call them chakras. So the energy centers that most people are familiar with are along the spine. So they start at the base of the spine and they work their way up to the crown of the head. And those are basically, we can think of it in yoga as sort of the intersections of major currents of energy. Okay, and each of the chakras is located in a different place on the body, and each of those chakras is associated with different thoughts, feelings, emotions, and even physical, either discomfort or comfort. The second main concept I want to describe is called the Prana Values. In yoga, prana is the word that we use for energy. It's for the universal life force as well as the individual life force. And in yoga, there are five Prana Values. The five values flow in different directions. We have one that flows downward, one that flows upward, one that flows around, one that flows kind of out and back in, and then one that kind of has to do with energy flow around the head. So the Prana Values are like the main kind of the main currents of energy that flow through the body, while the chakras are kind of like the hubs or like the flywheels where things kind of spin through and move to other areas of the body. So that you can see that this is kind of multi-layered, even though we're still just talking about the energy body. Okay, and the third concept I want to introduce is the concept of nadis, or channels. Okay, so I'll try to use the English more often than the Sanskrit. So the main channels of energy in yoga flow next to the spine, on either side of the spine. And they're, the right and the left. And in basic terms, we can think of it as the masculine and the feminine. Now, those two primary channels flow along the spine, And when those are balanced and in harmony and energy's flowing as it should, we feel this sense of calmness, a sense of inner peace, and things just start to flow effortlessly for that person. So there are more channels than just those two that I mentioned, but for this conversation, I just want to focus on the two. For beginners, you just want to focus on the two, balancing kind of the right and the left. When you get to the intermediate level, when they both come balanced, they run up the central channel that goes up through the spine. Okay, so I guess there would be three primary channels. And the rest of them do exist in the body, but they are much smaller, and you can think of them more as like side streets. Okay, so you've got the channels that flow through the body, you've got the main currents that flow through the body, and then you've got the energy centers that help keep everything flowing. Okay, I know that's a lot, but they're just basic concepts, and if you could just kind of wrap your mind around it structurally as a way to just quantify for the sake of the conversation. Okay, you don't have to get too far into the belief system to understand where I'm going to go with this. Okay, so each of these aspects, so each energy center, each channel, each current, they all have associated feelings, thoughts, emotions, and even physical issues, good and bad, that correspond to each of those energetic components. So when we begin to study the concepts of energy in the being, and we start to observe ourselves, the thoughts and the emotions and the physical things that are going on, and we use the science of yoga to correlate what energy aspect we should be looking at, we can use the tools of yoga as a science to help work on the being as a whole. Okay? If you're not familiar with the 5 layers of being, I highly recommend you watch my video on that. I'm going to put the link below. Okay, so next I want to talk about what it feels like when the energy is flowing in the body, and for the human, what they feel like when everything is moving well. I mean, in a nutshell, it's basically what kids feel like. Kids, healthy children, have great energy flow. They're excited about life. Their general disposition is to be happy, and they don't have any things in their energy field that are holding them back. So some of the things that would indicate that you have good energy flow in the body are, one, that your body is in good overall health. Another indicator is that you feel strong and confident. Your immune system is strong. You feel positive about yourself, about your place in the world, your connection with friends and family, and your connection with God or source or spirit or whatever you want to call it. You feel safe with this inner knowing that you already have the answers and that you just need to trust yourself to make the right choices. And an inner knowing that you were given all the tools that you need to thrive in this lifetime. All right, so what if you're not feeling like all of that? Most people aren't. Most people are not 10s across the board. And by the way, those were just a small sample of, what it would look like for a perfectly balanced, healthy human being, okay? There's definitely more. But what if you don't feel like this? What if there are certain aspects of yourself and certain things that are just kind of holding you back and you just don't know why? A lot of times this can be helped through yoga. And by understanding the intricacies of what those specific issues are that are bugging you or holding you back, you can use the tools of yoga, the science of yoga, to create a specific practice for yourself to clear out energy in that area and bring in healthier, clear flowing energy through that part of the body. And when I say part of the body, I'm talking about all layers of being, not just the physical. Now, yoga is slow medicine, so it may not be a good fit for everyone. You should definitely do your research, study under a teacher, read some books, something to educate yourself a little bit so that you understand what's going on and what you're doing. So yoga may not be for everyone. For the average person that's caught up in the surface of reality, and when I say that I mean when they're just caught up in the activities of life and what's going on, how people view them, things like that, they may not be ready to practice yoga. But if you feel differently, if you feel like you have a deeper sense of awareness, if you're watching this video, okay, this is for you. You are on the verge of understanding yourself in a deeper way and taking action so that you can change, kind of fine-tune yourself as a human being. All right, real quick, if you're finding this information helpful, please hit the like button below, subscribe to my channel. It does take time to see results. For some people, it could be just a few days, a few weeks, and for other things that are more stubborn or more serious issues, they may take years. The bonus is it's perfectly natural and it's lasting. So whether you're trying to heal a health problem, a physical, structural problem, or a mental or emotional problem, yoga can work for you. Understand that this is about healing on all 5 layers of the being. So your thoughts and actions and feelings definitely affect where you are. They affect whether you feel stuck or whether you're moving forward. And yoga can help clear out the energy and help you create new patterns that are healthier for you. Get to the good stuff. What are my favorite practices, or what practices do I think are best for clearing out old energy patterns and creating healthier ones? Well, number one, personally, I think breathing exercises, because your breath is your direct connection to your physical body, in the sense that it's the only part of our autonomic nervous system that we don't have to think about breathing. But when we do think about breathing, that gives us access to the autonomic nervous system. My 2 basic breathing exercises that I recommend for beginners, anyone can do, are called Kapalabhati and alternate nostril breathing. So Kapalabhati, that's a Sanskrit term, and there really isn't an English translation for it, but it's a forceful exhalation with the diaphragm and a passive inhalation. And we do it quickly, and we do it for a period of time, maybe up to a minute or more. You kind of have to work up to it. And it brings a lot of oxygen in and a lot of oxygen to the brain. It doesn't make you feel lightheaded, if that's what you're wondering, but it does make you feel a little bit different. There are many yoga practitioners that tout all these health benefits that go along with Kapalabhati, although I'm not going to get into it here because it's really not scientifically proven. However, I do practice it myself, and I will say that after a good, I don't know how many years I've been practicing, maybe 15 years, I will say that I still do the practice regularly, like on a weekly basis, because I feel that it clears things out. I really feel like it clears my mind. It clears my energy just a little bit, my thoughts, all of that stuff, and allows me to be more comfortable for meditation. And when I say comfortable for meditation, it allows my mind to slow down just a little bit. So I usually do this practice before I sit for meditation, sometimes before an asana practice or when I do the yoga poses. The second best breathing technique, I think, for clearing energy or balancing energy is alternate nostril breathing. And you can find other videos on how to do this. You just Google it. But alternate nostril breathing studies have shown that this practice does in fact reduce anxiety. It also helps with depression. When you're balancing the nervous system, both sides of, both hemispheres of the brain are working, because we're doing physical movements and we're also being mindful and doing a physical activity and connecting the breath, we have access to the nervous system. And so it helps to balance the nervous system. So my second favorite thing for clearing out energy and creating healthier energy patterns in the body are the yoga poses. I'm a big fan of practicing asana. I do it regularly. If I can't do it every day, I'm disappointed, but I definitely do it several times a week. It's one of those things that I can feel it in my bones, my joints, and my muscles. And when I do have a good yoga practice, even if it's a short one, my version of a short yoga practice is like 45 minutes, by the way. Even if it's a short yoga practice, I still feel good when I'm finished because I feel like, the kinks are worked out. I feel like I've moved energy through the body, and I notice when that happens, my thoughts are different. My emotions are different. When I get to do these practices at the beginning of the day, I approach every situation throughout my day a little bit differently. If I skip my practices, whether it's breathing or the poses and meditation, I'll get to that, that's my third one. When I skip those things, my days don't go as smoothly as I'm used to, because I'm used to practicing on a regular basis. So let me get to the third thing. The third thing is meditation. You might already have a yoga practice, or you've heard about how fantastic meditation is. I can't really get into it in this video, but the tools by sitting in meditation, we have the opportunity to check in with ourselves. You get to check in with your physical body. How's my physical body feeling? Do I have any feelings anywhere, any aches and pains, or do I feel good? Do I feel heavy? Do I feel whatever? All of those things. It's a good check-in. When we use meditation as a way, there's many types of meditation, by the way, but when we use it as a check-in, or we use it for specifically clearing out the energy body, we can use our imagination and our intention with a little bit of mindfulness, and we can help to clear out the energy body just through intention and through meditation. All right, so that's it. I'm hoping this video helps you out. If you have any questions, please comment below. If you haven't done so already, please hit the thumbs up button, give me a like, subscribe to my channel so you can see the next few videos, and we can keep in touch.